Body, speech, and mind held in perfect oneness. I send my heart along with the sound of the bell. May the hearers awaken from forgetfulness and transcend all anxiety and sorrow. May the sound of this bell penetrate deeply into the cosmos. In even the darkest spots, may living beings hear it clearly, so the suffering will ease, understanding arise in their hearts, and they can transcend the path of anxiety and sorrow. May the sound of this bell penetrate deeply into the cosmos, so that beings, even those in dark places, may hear it and be free from birth and death. May all beings realize awakening and find their way home.
Good evening, brothers and sisters. First of all, I would like to welcome you all to our regular Friday meditation session. Today is July 16, year of 2021. And I believe that tonight will be the last session of our Friday before we break. And we will see each other again in September. But during the summer break, you are welcome to visit Westlock Meditation Center anytime from now until end of August, because the monastics will have the retreat there. So anytime from after next week, after this weekend, beginning from next week, until mid of August for sure. If you go to meditation center in Westlock, and we will meet you there. We have a chance to bring you around. And since we have the opportunity to reopen our session, and I can see some of our old friends, sisters, brothers, especially our two young brothers. They always show up on the Friday, which very encouraged for the young monks. Thank you for your presence. And I hope that even though we don't see you on Fridays, but you still keep your practice daily. And we hope that when we come back in September, we will see you again. Sometimes we use the word break. Break means a pause. In work, in any event, while we do something for a long time, and we may need a break. So even we work through the year, but we should take winter break, summer break, spring break, any time that we feel that we need a pause, then we use the word break. For example, if we work a whole day, But we have every maybe an hour or two, then we have 10 minutes break, 15 minutes break. So, and then we also have summer break. And that not only apply at work, but we also use that to apply in our daily life. Sometimes we are too tired to dealing with something, and we need a break so we can calm ourselves down, so we can relax and continue. We know we cannot reject. We know that we cannot refuse. We know that we cannot run away from that. But we have the right to take a break, so we can think about that deeply. And maybe during the break, we will find another way that when we come back, we can do better. Sometimes we get too close to that area and we cannot stand from far and we cannot see the whole thing. And we are unable to make it better, nicer. And when we take a break and we walk a little bit farther and we can see the whole thing and we can picture what I'm going to do when I come back and fix. Even us, sometimes we need a break on what we are doing, so we can have a chance to reflect what we have done is right or wrong, how much we can do, and whether we can continue or we can temporarily stop. Because sometimes we just keep doing and we never have a chance to see the feedback or to hear the feedback. So when you can stop to hear the feedback, to see the feedback, and you can see what can you do to make it better. I used to remind the young monks after they give a talk, and if they have sometimes free, they can go back to listen to what they have talked. Sometimes we prepare a lot, but when we come up to that moment and to that area and we stand in front of people and then we try to focus to something and we forgot more details that we already planned. And when we listen back to our talk and we realize we missed some of the part that really need. There's nothing wrong about that. And we can take that, and when we have a chance to give another talk, we can add in. And we make our talks more details, more interesting, and always new. Sometimes what we continue to talk is old, but we have added in some of the other details. Just like when we making cake, bakery, we all right to create more things. Nothing wrong with that. But at first, we follow the ingredients. We follow the recipe. But when we get used to the recipe, it's all right to create more. So we make our bakery, our food more delicious, more fancy, more tasty. And I think the idea that we have a summer break, winter break is very beautiful, because that means people need some time to rest. But if we can apply that into our daily practice, and that can become very practical and useful too. When we invite the bell, we will awake the bell, and we sound the bell, and we let the bell rings. That means we are not continue to invite, to sound it. But the sound of the bell also need break. And during that break, we also break. We have a chance to calm down by the rings of the sound of the bell. During the past year, I think the COVID took more than a year. And many businesses, they closed. And they have a chance to go back to the store by themselves so they can do their cleaning, which they never have a chance to do when they have a busy schedule, busy business. Now they can see what they can change, they can repaint, they can do a lot of stuff. So even they break for the business, but they have a more chance to enjoy what they need to fix, what they need to decorate, what they need to clean. So break, it's also working. We work, but with nobody rushing. We enjoy. Let's say we're on holidays. We still, catch up with the schedule. What time we wake up, what time we visit that place. But enjoy. We're still working, but we work with our enjoyment. So everything based on the mind. What do you feel about it? Oh, you feel this is a business, then you run. But you feel, oh, this is a trip, this is holidays, then you feel more relaxed. So when you have a chance to stay home, no working, and you think, oh, this is my break. I'm in holidays. Last week, I passed by a store and I saw a lady who spent time to clean her store. And she told me she never experienced something like this, and she called this is happiness. Because when her business went well, very well, she have no time for her husband, no time for their kids. They cannot spend time together. But last year, they spent few weeks or even more than a month together. And she feels great. So she doesn't feel any anxiety, sorrow, suffer at all. But when they push you to close, you have no more choice. Only one choice, close and relax. But when we have the right to open and we say, why don't we open? It's time to make money. And sometimes the money will carry us away from what we really need a break. So what I try to share is try to cultivate our mind into the positive thinking. And the positive thoughts always bring us, to a better feeling. The positive thoughts always give us more happy. And we will feel that, when you're ending here, there is something will be open, something else will be open. Just like our meditation hall, the past 2 weeks, our AC totally broken. So we have no AC in this hall. When we have meditation, chanting in this hall, we have to open all the windows. And you know what happened? We have a chance to hear a lot of birds singing. So when I'm doing meditation, I enjoy. But if we have the AC, we will close the windows. And we won't have a chance to hear the birds sing that clearly. We still can hear, but not that clearly. So I thought, wow, the Buddha already told us something ending, but for something else to be open. So AC is broken, windows will be open. And we will have more chance to enjoy the nature, the birds. This afternoon, there was a young couple to visit Westlock Meditation Center. And you know, a lot of Asian ladies, they're afraid of the sunshine. So they always try to cover themselves. And the young man said, oh, I need vitamin D. I need vitamin D. So he enjoyed the sunshine. The Buddha taught us, when we practicing the Dharma and all the teachings, just help us to cleansing our mind and help us to live with our, positive mind. Because once our mind is stable, the environment around us also will be stable. Because everything around depends on how you view them, how you dealing with them, how you come to them. So if you have a peaceful mind, you can also peace the environment. So there are 4 things that to help us to move on and to help us to practice more diligently without any panic, without any worries, because we have the first thing we prepare, what we call we achievement in alertness. That means we be aware and prepare. For example, tonight, we know that we will have a Friday session. And we announced that the session will be given a talk by Thay. And this talk will be online for many other brothers and sisters. So all the monks will prepare the cushion, the mats, for those who come in, to show up in person. They also prepare their camera, their laptop, so they can do their live stream. And I encourage Brother Huệ Tạng to sing a song, so he can prepare a song. Just like when you are doing cooking, you know what dish you cook, so you can prepare the right ingredients around you. Not, you turn on the stove, you're looking for oil. So when you add something in, you run around and looking for salt and pepper. And while you're running looking for, your dish may be burned. That happened to us sometimes. We're cooking, but we never prepare, right? And we're running around to looking for the ingredients. But when we come there, that may overcook, that may burn. So that's why, sometimes our work is not that much, but because we did not prepare and we make the mess, and it takes more time to clean up. Is that true? This is something I always told the young friends. They used to say, oh, I can do that later. Oh, I can do that later. I can do that later. But when they come to the final time, they start to run. And they forgot this, forgot that. So when you prepare, you'll be more, safe. You won't be late. You do things on time. You won't waste time to clean up, to pack up, and to run around, to panic yourself, to make others feel uncomfortable. For example, if somebody will travel with us and the whole group have to wait for one person, and that is not fair. And maybe they can forgive us, maybe one, but they cannot forgive after 3 times. And if they yell at us, and we turn that holidays, that trip together, no more fun. So why is that? Because ourselves, we did not prepare things. For example, if you go for grocery, And if you have your driver license in your pocket, you have your card, your credit card, then you feel safe. You won't feel safe if you're driving and you realize, I don't have my driver license. Nobody knows, but the way you drive, the way you talk, the way you look around, we know something wrong with you. But if something we already prepare, nothing to worry, right? When you come up to give a talk, if you know what you are talking, and you have a lot of trust, you have a lot of, you trust in yourself and you know what you're doing. If don't, then you go there and you don't know what to do. So sometimes things very small, we can do that in 5 minutes. Just because we don't prepare, that take an hour. Sometimes the Buddha asks us to meditate. I will be old. I cannot refuse from old age. That doesn't mean to give us, the feeling of boring, the feeling of distaste about life, but to be prepared. And because we know that we may sick, we will have headache anytime. So in every single house, we may have a jar of Tylenol. Nothing wrong with that. Just to keep in our drawer, and we feel whenever we have problem, go to that drawer. We have some medications, basic, and we will feel safe. When we travel, we always prepare something for our traveling. So if you know you already prepared, you have that in your pocket, and you have that in your luggage, nothing to worry. The second thing, after we prepare, we are aware what we need, we prepare what we want, what we need, and we have it, we try to protect. For example, we know that we have this physical body, and we don't know what will happen tomorrow. And because of that, that's why we try to protect. Protect doesn't mean we have desire to live, but we know that to keep this in a healthy condition, we can do more things for us and for our loved one and for others. When you open a business, before you open, you must prepare everything. After you prepare, you must keep your business alive by your protection. When we have a commitment with our loved one, during last year, even we have COVID, and young couple unable to arrange for their wedding banquet, but they do have their wedding ceremony. Just 4 of them, 5 of them come to the temple. I do, very formal but simple, but their weddings. And I used to tell my young brothers and sisters, you only start your construction today. And you know that you need to put a lot of effort, a lot of work into this happiness construction. Why? Because this construction, only 2 laborers, you and your wife, right? When we build a house, we have maybe more than 10 laborers. But this happiness, this couple construction, only your couple. Lot of work to be done. Lot of careful, so you won't break your happiness. Do you know that to construct something that takes a long time, but to destruct something just in few minutes? Happiness is the same. We need to put a lot of effort and work to make that possible. But a minute we don't protect, that can be gone easily. So even a monk, the Buddha always advised, you need to protect yourself all the time. But if you have no protection for yourself, your pure life easily gets ruined by the way you live without any protection. So the second thing is we try to prepare and protect. And not only happiness, anything in life. It takes a lot of time to have something, but we need to protect what we have. Doesn't mean we try to be greedy, but this is the very reality, very practical. If you want things to happen, we need to keep this in mind. Because our mind is easily carried by many things around. For example, since July 1st, we open 100%, like weddings, funerals, churches, we all can get together without any worry. But if we are careful enough, we still need to be careful, because anything can happen, right? When you know how to drive, doesn't mean you can drive without you're careful. You have to drive with all your attention. And when you drive carefully, what happens? You are not only protect yourself, but you protect also others. In Bhutan, we realized that is the country without traffic lights. No traffic lights, but very less accident. When we are driving on the way, I see many signs that remind, and I thought, oh, this can be the traffic lights. You know what happened? They wrote on the side, I know you are rushing home, but not because of that you make others cannot come home. So that means if you are rushing home, you still have to drive carefully. If you don't drive carefully, you make others die and they cannot go home. I know you are rushing home. Others also need to go home too. Don't make them cannot go home. And when you read that sign, you have to slow yourself down. You have to drive slowly and carefully, because that is very practical traffic light. Now you go to the highway, you also can see many signs like that. COVID-19, wear your mask. Keep distance. So anything that happens, there are some signs to remind us, be protect. When we protect, we also mean we also show love to our loved one. When you love your parents, to show your love to your parents, you know how to protect yourself. Live your life in a healthy condition. Do not damage your life with drugs, alcohol. Of course, when you're 18, you may think your parents have no right to tell you anything. That's what you thought. And because of that law, maybe your parents keep silent, but don't you know they carry a lot of worries inside. The more you smoke, the more you enjoy, but the more you cause worries for your loved one, especially your parents. So, the Buddha always remind, if anyone who only, live for themselves and they have nothing that they concern for others, and life have lack of happiness because people live without any care, with a lot of careless. So when we enjoy something that we call, that please us, but is that a healthy hobbies? If not, that may bring worries for your loved one. Socialize with good friends. One of the Zen masters said, if you have a chance to travel, make sure you have good friends to travel with you. Because when you can socialize with good friends, they will always give you to hear something new that you never hear before. They will help you to see something new that you never seen before. They open your eyes, open your mind. Socialize with good friends, just like you walk in the early morning. You're walking outside in the early morning. You don't see any water, any rain. But after a long walk, you feel wet because of the dew. When we get close to good people, we don't see any, influence. But they slowly and gently, we influenced by them somehow. We never know, but they truly influence. But if we are not mindful enough, we get along with those who have a lot of evil thoughts, evil action, evil speech. And that also increases in us. Our mind just like a piece of plant. Whatever seed we plant in, that will grow as a tree, that will bloom as a flower. That's why every day we are very careful to plant the seed and make sure that bloom as a tree, as a fruit that we can enjoy. The song we just sang, what is that song? I have breathing in, breathing out. I am blooming as a flower. I am fresh as a dew. I am solid as a mountain. So those are all the good quality in our mind, in our daily practice. Sometimes friend can be a book. We have no friends, but we like to read. And good books always give us a lot of things to learn, a lot of things to remember. Do you agree? So when we read a book, when we are reading a book, we used to have a pencil. We used to have a highlight. So whatever section, whatever word, whatever sentence that really makes sense and that really inspires us, we highlight. And this is what I have done. And I remember whatever that book talking about. So when I give a talk, I need to go find something like that, and I remember what book said that. And I can directly find that without any problem. Sometimes I read the whole story and I have an idea, what is this story about? And I will make a note. This story talking about friendship, whatever. So when we give a talk, we need to bring some story in to make our talk more interesting, then that will help. Sometimes we want to talk to somebody. You are unable to talk to them directly. You may use a story. Let me tell you a story. And from that, we bring in. And this is the art of teaching, because we have the art of learning. When you know how to learn, then you will know how to share. That's like the law of cause and effect. When you know how to cook, then you will have a good dish to offer. Because you know how to cook, and make every time when you cook, people have a good dish to enjoy. So when we listen to the good talk, when we're able to cultivate the good thoughts within us, then that thought will lead us to the speech, to the action. Because our mind, our thought is the source. They are the seed. The word we use, the action we act, they are the fruit. And what we thought is the seed. So, we want it or not, we still live in the law of cause and effect. If we plant the good thought, that will bring the good fruit by the way we talk, by the way we act. If we cultivate the unmindful thought, and that will bring us to the unmindful speech or action. So that's why, our daily routine, meditation, chanting, and people will question, why monks do that all the time? Then we will question why you have breakfast, lunch, dinner without any complaint. You have 3 meals a day to nourish your body. We have meditations, chanting to nourish the mind, because those are all the food for the mind. And this will bring us to the 4th practice, balancing. When you do meditation, when you do sitting meditation, when you cross your legs and make sure your spine right in the middle of your cushion, and you keep your back straight, you lean your body a little bit to the front, your 2 knees touch the floor. You balance your 2 knees, your sitting will be stable, solid, and you can sit longer. Let's say if you cross your legs and one of your knees off the floor, you do not balance yourself, and later on you become like this, or you become other side. So when you can cross your legs, make sure that you sit in such a way that your 2 knees touch the floor. The floor become the base for your 2 knees, and automatically you balance your body, and you can sit. You can practicing sitting meditation without any problem. Even our hands, you can put your 2 hands on your 2 knees. You can put your right hand on your left and place right in the center. That means we try to balancing body. And if you keep your back straight, your breathing in and out, you will feel more freedom, more comfortable. Because if you bend your back, you bend your body like this, you block your breathing here, and you cannot inhale and exhale, smoothly, and that may block your breathing. And after a while, you don't feel comfortable. When we do walking meditation, we try to take every step gently, without any other thoughts, only step by step. You will balance your body. But if you're thinking of something else, you almost fall. Have you ever experienced about this? Maybe the next time you may pay attention. If you keep your stepping in with mindfulness, then you will find. But you feel that your body is not in balance, you know that the other thoughts have jumped in. So sometimes I walk around and I look back and I see that person almost, we know that person, they're thinking something else. Even me, if during the walking I'm thinking something else and my body unbalanced right away. So one of the mantra that I share with the members during the COVID time, if we cannot go out, let's go in. It's like, for example, by the time we have to, stay home, if you do not need to go out, then do not go out. So if we cannot go out, then let's go in. In means go back to ourselves. So one of the ways that you can balance yourself is you manage your schedule. And you know that manage yourself, not the time. Because the times always move on. But we need to balance ourselves in order to continue with the time. Because our life is also very limited. So I know that we will have a summer break soon. And I want to remind about the word taking your break. Sometimes we need to, if we are too tired from something, take a break. After 3 days of breaking, you're able to calm yourself down. You're able to reflect back your situation, your story, your problems, and you will find a better solution. The more you dive in, the more you panic, you're busy, you block out, you're blurry, you don't know what to do. Just like if you have a very messy house, that make you feel frustrated. Oh, I don't know where to start, what to do. Do not stand here and look, focus to one corner. Let's clean this corner first. After you clean that area, that appetize you. Wow, look good. After just a day of cleaning, that boosts you up and bring you more energy. Now I can move to another area. Because you off some of the others, you just focus to one thing. So we have a few words to remind. Take a day off. So even the lights, we need to turn off the lights, to let the lights have some time to rest. Even you are driving a car, you need to turn off your car. Nothing can do forever without breaking, without off time. A machine like that, and body also the same. Our mind also the same. If you cannot continue to think, put everything away, go to bed. You know that I have a lot of emails every day. Sometimes I thought that I will answer some of the emails. I will check my email and answer my email at night time, because I know that daytime I'm very busy. But when I sit to my desk and I start to check my mail and I read and I try to answer, but you know what happened? I cannot type because I cannot see. I know all the keys, but after I read back my answer, nothing related to what they ask. And I know that I'm very sleepy. I'm very tired and I need some rest. And I thought that it's better that way than I just, answer something I sent. So look like I have answered them. I replied the email, but nothing helped for the one who asked me a question, for the one who sent me the email. And that doesn't work. And that happened to me very often. So after, because, when I thought, I still working the same speed, but 20 years before, nothing happened. But how come now that's slow? And I have to realize 20 years ago, that means I'm only 30. So the Buddha always reminds us, be very mindful on your age, on your health, in order to balance. Your age, adapt with your work. Your health to adapt with your work. Because if one thing, your health is the root, the work is something that will continue on and on. But this is limited. So make sure you balance this so you can adapt with what you're able to do. And if we're able to understand our situation, the situation here means, many things that related to us. The time, the health, the condition we live in, many other things around. We have to realize all of that in order to bring ourselves to balancing or to adapt with what we should do. If not, we just make things more worse. You try to make it better, but you do not know about your situation, and you have misunderstanding about your health, about your capacity. Then you are unable to make it become what you need, what you want. But you may make it more worse. I think if we are mindful enough in the practice, and we can see this very regularly, and we can find out the truth. There was a monk who was very sick, So the Buddha went to visit him. When the Buddha met him and the Buddha asked him, "How was your health?" He said, "My health is very worse. I think I cannot survive. I will die soon." So that monk told the Buddha. So the Buddha asked him, "How was your practice?" "I practice very well." "What do you understand about life?" "Oh, I understand impermanent. I understand that life is temporary. And because I know that life is temporary and impermanent, that's why I wholeheartedly practice while I'm still in a healthy condition." "Do you regret anything about your practice?" "No, I don't." "So what make you, is there anything that you regret?" "I only regret that I did not meet the Buddha often." The Buddha said, "Don't worry. When you can see the truth, you already met the Buddha. Do not attach to this temporary body. You think you need to see the Buddha in person? Even the Buddha's body is still impermanent. The Buddha manifests as a truth. So when you can see the truth, you already met me. And this is the Buddha will last forever. And if you think that you meet the person, you meet the Buddha in the physical form, that's still fake. Because the Buddha already informed with us, anything composed as a form, that is fake. That is lie. Lie means we misunderstood about the true facts of it. Doesn't mean they try to lie to us, but the word the Buddha used here means we were tricked by this is real, but actually they are not real. And what is the real of the truth? Or what is the truth of the truth? Nothing. Everything will become nothing. But because not because of nothing, we don't do anything. We do whatever we can, but we do not attach. But we are opposite with the Buddha. We can do anything, but we will attach everything we did. This is the problem. For example, the Buddha can build the house, can make money and build a house, but the Buddha know that this house is temporary. That's why if one day it's collapsed, the Buddha is still okay. But we don't. We know it's we can create things like the Buddha, but the difference between us and the Buddha is the Buddha can use it and can let it go easily, but we don't. We attach every penny we make. And this is the problem. This afternoon, I have a chance to drive from Edmonton to West Loch with a young couple. And because she doesn't feel well, so she asked me about, "Thay, what makes us suffer?" I said the true facts of this life is everything, because in this life we have coming, going, arriving and leaving, good and bad. And we always try to accept only one thing. And that thing is that make us happy. We try to reject the others. That's why the word suffering appear. If you accept, oh, you are coming to visit me, I'm so happy. Then when the guests stand up and say, oh, I need to go home, okay, have a good trip, and this will be fine. Why you need to leave me? We know that life have coming and going, arriving and living, good and bad, everything always appear. But we only accept one side. And whatever side that comfort us, of course we don't like the other side. That's why we suffer. And if you can know that this is the facts of life, then why you have to complain? You know it. So if you can see the truth, you meet the Buddha. This is something I want to share with you today. There are many things that happen in life. You can see not only the COVID over the past year, but now you can learn a lot of, disaster news around the world. Thank you for your listening. Thank you for your presence. And before we break, I would like to express my thanks to all my monastic brothers, Brother Đức Tạng, Peter, Brother Tịnh Tạng, Lawrence, Brother Huệ Tạng, Michael, and Brother Nguyên Lộc. They have been helping me a lot during the past year, because I have the intent to continue the Dhamma work. And they help me to satisfy my wish. And of course, I believe that during their working, they also learned a lot from this Dhamma work too. And this also nurture them in their monastic practice. And I also thank all the brothers and the sisters. You still keep your practicing by coming to the monastery. You show in person, and also for those who online for the talk. And also they also try all their best to give the English talk on Sunday morning. So that's very meaningful to me, and very happy to see this happen. I hope that because of the COVID, and we have a new project, we have the new way to bring the Dhammas to many other places and members. May you be well and happy, and hope to see you more often, maybe during the summer break in Westlock, or when we come back on Friday for Friday session in September. Enjoy your night, your weekend. Now you can enjoy your breathing in, breathing out, along with the 3 sounds of the bell.